everyone, and welcome to another episode of playonultra podcast. This is episode 215.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Hello,
So,
hello.
We did skip last month, so how are you all doing?
Yeah. Last month was like a busy work month for me, so I don't know if... the problem is it was also a very long month, so I am sure as we were talking, I'll go, oh yeah, I did this, but otherwise... I don't remember too well. A lot of announcements came out. So Final Fantasy XIV's got updates that are coming. New expansions coming in July. I think it's July. It's this summer. So that's big news, along with a crazy new graphic update. And people are already just... Yeah. They've been planning this for a while, this new graphic update. People were just mad, though, because they put out a benchmark. And I thought it was fine, but I guess people were mad. I'm not sure why.
Device requirements?
So yeah, they do it for that reason, but it was also to check out what the new graphical update would look like. But I guess people were mad because I guess it did weird things to some people's characters. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it, but I guess people were mad. So I guess they fixed it and put out another benchmark, which I haven't looked at yet. I don't know. 14 fans can sometimes be really stupid.
Can you choose to play on the old one just in case your PC sucks and not too strong?
I don't know. I will say that they've always had a lot of choices when it comes to graphic update stuff. They have a lot of choices when it comes to how it runs on your PC and things like that. Because I have friends who've had pretty crappy computers, and it's not the best, don't get me wrong. It's not an amazing experience, but it's not an undoable experience. So I will say one thing that was noticeable on mine is my machine's pretty old, but this was the first time that I was on high, not ultra, so there is an impact, but my PC's also old. So yeah, people are weird going on about
right?
that.
Not with the expansion.
The bench. Oh yeah. It's just a change they're going to be doing across the board. Already there are people that are trying to figure out how to crack and get the old version back. My favorite is that people, I guess, have been off to trying to replay 1.0, which is hilarious to me, but
can you do
I don't know. I think you know how some MMOs, I think WoW did this, where there's a way to create a server, not really legally, to play.
Right. Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. So I don't know. Square Enix might get on them at some point, but so far it hasn't happened. People have been doing it, so I don't know how they're doing it, but I think it's similar to that.
Yeah, I don't know how they get the server code in those scenarios.
I don't either. I don't know. People find out a way, and they. The crazy part to me is they don't really get in trouble. So I don't know how they're doing it. But yeah, I know there's just been I'm just seeing it a lot on Twitter, a bunch of people trying to play 1.0, and it's one of those things where people just get nostalgic, I think, for the weirdest things. But that's my opinion. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Otherwise, it's been a lot of working and a lot of tabletop games, I think, has been my main thing this past month. But I'll keep thinking if other stuff comes up.
What did you do for Jesus?
Did I tell you guys last episode about a movie I watched called Hundreds of Beavers?
No.
That doesn't sound familiar, no.
What is that?
It came out recently. It's a live action film. It's black and white. It's no dialogue. There's only just sounds. It's like a live action Looney Tune. It's basically about this guy trying to survive in the Canadian wilderness. And he has to kill a ton of beavers. And the beavers are played by people in mascots, beaver mascot costumes.
Sounds like a horror movie.
It's a comedy. It's slapstick. It's
I
real
mean, mascot
dumb.
horror
It's
can be
real
certainly
good.
slapstick.
There's a scene in it where he's stuck up a tree because a wolf has, a guy in a wolf costume basically has chased him up there, and he sneezes, and the snot freezes into an icicle, so he breaks it off and drops it, and that kills the wolf. It gets very video gamey because there's a trapper who's if you bring me one beaver pelt, I'll give you a knife. So he does that. He gets the knife lets him build a trap. The trap can trap more beavers at once, and it just ramps up. I like it a lot. It's very weird though.
How do you find these things?
I know, right?
It was shown in theaters here.
Oh, that's cool.
The indie.
I'm not good at keeping up with movies.
That's cool. You have something like that. Like seriously, is it like a specific type of theater that specializes in this kind of like smaller indie stuff, or they just have like?
I mean, there's multiple theaters. There's
definitely
there's some that specialize in it, but like the one. There's one. I mean, one of them was like it's kind of quote unquote normal theater. Like I also saw like Godzilla Minus One there when it was in theaters. So like it's not like only indie stuff. That's the big thing I watched that was cool. I don't know. I watched a lot of stuff, but none of it was like good. I watched one yesterday called Stone Cold. It's like a crappy Point Break where this cop has to infiltrate a biker gang and break it up. It's kind of like Roadhouse but worse. It's very funny, but not a good movie. I 100% did Deep Rock Galactic Survivors. That was my big thing.
Was that something
like
new?
I'm gonna no, it's Vampire Survivors, but from the Deep Rock Galactic guys.
Right, that one.
It's more of a video game. I feel like it's less like they're both good. They're both different. Like Vampire Survivors is very fun but very passive. Deep Rock Galactic takes some attention to play. It's actually like difficult, which is good and bad. So I did all the achievements and all of the unlocks and all that stuff. So maybe I'll never play it again. We'll see. I haven't played Helldivers 2 in like 2 months.
Yeah, I haven't played.
Did that game like get on the map and then just? Although they had that whole controversy, didn't they? With
There's the Sony controversy.
The Sony okay.
But really, it kind of just came down to like their balancing style was like, oh hey, this weapon is being used disproportionately more than other weapons. We should nerf it. And you do that a few times, and none of the weapons feel good anymore. So I just kind of stopped having fun.
I forgot who it was that said you shouldn't nerf. You should just make the other guns better.
Yeah, and I don't know if like an absolute is a good solution, but definitely you shouldn't only nerf. Because it just kind of shifts.
But I think
the
it's pretty
problem
big
around.
still. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Because
I don't really know.
it doesn't have like bullshit microtransaction stuff, so that's a thing people like. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't like that. And the game does feel good, fun to play. So
but even like just today, like after we record this podcast, some friends are like, hey, do you want to play a video game? They're like, yeah, but like I don't know what we want to play. And one's like, well, I guess there's Helldivers. We're like, yeah.
Oh no.
I guess there's Helldivers.
I swear my friends were playing Helldivers 2 for a while and then just went back to Destiny 2.
Destiny 2 did come out with like a new expansion, so that could be the reason why.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not a Destiny player, but I just know people who play a lot of it.
I played it the first year it came out, which was now like, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. I feel like there's something really cool and big I'm forgetting.
I know, I feel like I'm forgetting something too.
I mean, I did, like, it's all personal stuff.
I finally watched fucking Godzilla Minus One, so...
Nice.
It just came out on Netflix. Holy shit, it's so good.
So good.
I'm so bummed that it wasn't in cinemas here.
It's just a good movie. Like, it's not like, it's a good Godzilla movie. No, it's just a good movie.
Yeah. And I completely understand all the praise that it got, and yeah, I don't know. I'll probably rewatch it, honestly.
Yeah, I will probably as well.
Yeah, it's just.
I did watch. I watched Godzilla vs Kong 2, and it was basically as bad as I thought the first one was going to be. Because I liked the first one, and I was surprised by it, and this one was not good. There's a lot of humans, very little Godzilla.
And this is the one where he fights another like Kong type.
It turns out there's like a whole tribe of Kongs in the middle of the earth, and they're led by evil like orangutan Kong, and he's got like a Godzilla slave, and they have to fight.
And his name is Scar or something, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
He has a scar.
Okay. And yeah, he has the white color,
Yeah, he uses like a spine of something, like a giant like bone spine as a whip, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that one's cool.
but the anime it's just still dumb.
The thing is,
similar quality. I also watched the new Ghostbusters, which was better, but still not good.
The new Ghostbusters.
Frozen Empire or whatever it's called. It's the second one with Paul Rudd.
Oh, the first one also had. Oh, I didn't watch the first one.
Yes,
Oh,
so there's the two original Ghostbusters, then there's the all-female Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
then there's the first one with Paul Rudd, and the second one with Paul Rudd just came out a couple months ago.
And this
I
one
didn't
is
even
like
know
with
they
the
were
kids.
doing that.
And it's mostly the kids, although this second one has way too many people in it, which is good because it means less kids. There's more screen time for the original Ghostbusters, which is good, but it's also just like too many people.
And the one with the kids, they're like the kids of the original or something like that. Is it?
One of the kids is supposed to be the daughter of Egon, who's the dead Ghostbuster.
Like the actor who passed away, right?
Harold Ramis. Harold Ramis is dead.
Right.
And the main kid is his Ghostbusters
And
offspring.
And Ghostbusters, the franchise, still hates the black guy, right?
I actually don't know. Probably, because that's how people are. But
yeah, I was gonna say probably.
they've also kind of made him... He's not full-blown black savior, but he is like... He's the only Ghostbuster who has continued to like work as a Ghostbuster. And so like anything that's new technology-wise was invented by him in the canon. And so it's a bit
Wait,
like...
is he in the new movies?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's good.
At least, yeah, both of them. Certainly, he's
Because
a big
I
part in
remember
this
like
one.
he was treated badly probably in the original movie. Not like...
He was probably paid less,
not like
at least in the
script-wise.
first one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that
I
was
think
what-
you're right. I do remember that.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't a terrible movie, but it was... I wouldn't say it was good either. I wouldn't recommend you see it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it. Probably just watch the original.
Yeah.
But
original, or even the
it's-
second one. I haven't seen the second one.
it's funny, we always have that there's not enough Godzilla with the basically the Western versions of Godzilla, the American versions. But the Japanese versions tend to have a lot of people in them, and we're okay with that. And I think it's because of just the American version is supposed to be like a action blockbuster. The point is to go watch Godzilla fight things. And the Japanese one, Godzilla is a metaphor for something, usually.
Yeah. Well, like in Godzilla Minus One, that's the first time I've cared about the people. In like Shin Godzilla, which was the other recent like Godzilla movie that I think was good, there's a lot of people in it too. And I don't know if it was too many people or not. Because it was like interesting. It was showing like the bureaucracy of trying to deal with Godzilla, which is kind of funny, but also kind of boring.
But definitely the pacing and the plot, there's just the plot in general is much better in Minus One.
Yeah. It's because you care, I think. It's the main difference.
Yeah.
Like,
I just
like
wish
this
that
guy's got
Toho-
problems, and I'm actually rooting for him.
I just wish that Toho would have like two teams, one to make these kind of Godzilla movies, and another one just to make that like
A dumb punch him up.
the stupid, that one.
Yeah.
And like I'm very surprised at how brave they were to do so many Godzilla scenes in bright daylight.
Yeah. He looks... I don't hate the Godzilla in Godzilla Minus One, but I do think he's a little like Thunder Thighsy kind of goofy.
But I feel like I'm okay with that. I prefer being able to like see it rather than not being able to see it at all. So it's just,
sure.
Because I don't
Like
really see the point.
Yeah. Because what was the first American one after Matthew Broderick? Like that one, you barely see him. It's all like he's like in San Francisco, so it's all foggy every time you see him in it as
I
well.
want to say it's 2014.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
Who was the
I
guy?
don't even
Was it
remember how
Chris
many
Hemsworth
Godzilla
or something?
movies there are.
Yeah.
I mean, for the American one, because a whole universe. Every fucking thing is a universe.
I was recently reading like the Wikipedia page for Rodan, and I was skimming it, but like my takeaway was that like Rodan was originally like the monster from like his own movie, like as a one-off movie, and he did like a crossover with Godzilla, and he just kind of became like a Godzilla thing.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't. Yeah, I think kaiju just in general is a pretty big thing over there. So
Yeah. Oh, are you watching Go-Go Loser Ranger?
Is that on any of the streaming services right now?
It might be on Crunchyroll. It's an anime. It's basically The Boys, but for Power Rangers.
I've been wanting to watch it. I didn't even know the anime is out. It's out.
It's out.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of it. Did we talk about it? It sounds
We might
familiar,
have.
but
Yeah,
I
we
haven't
might have.
seen it.
We did. I think
Last time.
I probably maybe mentioned like it's very interesting because of the Power Rangers are assholes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the whole thing of it.
Yeah.
I think it's paced very slowly. Like I want more, but like none of the stuff that's happening is bad. Like stuff is happening, so it's not like a pace issue. It's just like I want to see more. I guess the boys are the same issue. Like just fight. Like make me. Yeah.
No, they got
them
more
lose
emotional
already.
stuff going on.
Yeah, gotta have drama. Drammer.
It's set to premiere on Hulu. The series is streaming worldwide on Disney Plus and on Hulu in the United States. It's on Disney Plus.
Oh,
That's
okay.
I didn't know they had anime. That wasn't Disney.
I didn't do either.
Over here. Disney Plus has a lot of Korean stuff.
Huh.
Really?
Korean stuff is fucking huge. I'm not
So
sure
I
how
understand
it
Korean-
is in the States.
It's gotten more popular. So
Yeah,
it used
I
to
know,
be very
BTS
like
sells out.
Yeah.
That one.
I would say it's a little bit.
BTS.
It's slightly more mainstream. It's like kind of on the heels of anime. So, anime used to be way kind of like, oh, you're
Very
one of those
fringe,
people. And then K-dramas, I would say, were kind of like another level of that. But I know a lot of women who get into K-dramas, and it makes sense. We don't really have a good soap opera sitcom equivalent here in the U.S. anymore. So, it's K-dramas.
I always thought it was interesting that, I mean, it makes sense because a lot of like the Japanese and Korean stuff, before it got big in like the US, it got big in like the other parts of Asia first, like Malaysia. We got anime like super early, like way like 80s and super early 90s. It was like pretty popular here already.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because of like the how close it is. But
Distance-wise.
I just always thought that like, because the United States is such a money-wise, like just makes sense. Like it's just profitable. It's just a profitable market. But I guess they probably just thought like it's a safer bet here first or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the
But
U.S.
because
also...
there is still the language barrier and everything. We don't speak Japanese or Korean here.
Same kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I think in the U.S. there is something to be said of like, not as much now, but certainly back in the day, I mean, they kind of did. They kind of wanted to develop their own powerhouse when it came to entertainment. And
because
so not always...
Like, the whole, not cyberpunk as a whole, but the 80s Japanese aesthetic cyberpunk is because of the United States' fear of how the Japanese might overtake the United States, right? Yeah, I thought
it
that
might
one
be.
was
So I think it's related. Speaking of, did I mention that I finished watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
Did you like
I
it?
did. I really liked it, actually. Now I will say I at least knew ahead of time that it was not going to be a happy story, which helped. It's not a happy story, but I got to give Studio Trigger. It's not. I got to give Studio Trigger credit though. They understood the assignment. Their style with the aesthetics of the cyberpunk world were amazing. I unfortunately never ended up playing the game, or at least not yet. I might still someday. But from what I understand, they really took a lot of elements from the game and just made it part of the show, just like different mechanics and stuff like that, how they did the calls. And that was really neat. It was also kind of cool to try to hear people talk in cyberpunk talk, because obviously it's a whole different culture and language, which was really cool. And yeah, the stylistic part, which for cyberpunk as a piece of media, as the tabletop game, as the original idea behind it, the style is the most important part, and they delivered. I gotta tell them that the art's incredible for like what they were trying to do. Yeah, they definitely this is the most Studio Trigger anime I've ever seen. But that's a good thing in this case.
I'm not sure who's the one that designed the characters. Because I don't think these characters show up in any of the other media.
Not in the game, not in the video game. Apparently, after the anime was made, however, there were some patches, and there's now like a quest line that does feature one of the like side characters in the show.
Yeah, the guy that drives the van.
Yes. And also, apparently, one of the icons for one of the abilities is kind of changed to look like the short girl in what she does.
And also the jacket. You can have the jacket now.
Yes, you can get the jacket,
and you can also visit their graves, basically.
Yeah. So, it's very sad, but like, it's
but the
well
character
done.
design is super cool. I'm not sure if the studio made that or not, though. I'm sure they did like some like back and forth. Or something.
It's got Studio Trigger elements, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was a combination of factors. Because it's got I'm not super familiar with Studio Trigger, but I used to be a huge what's the name? Aaron Lagan. Gurren Lagann, thank you. I was like, I'm missing a letter. I used to be a big Gurren Lagann. I never watched Kill la Kill, unfortunately, but that was on the list originally. So like, I have a slight familiarity with their style. It still kind of feels like them, but still very cyberpunky. Cyberpunk is interesting. I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but Cyberpunk came from the tabletop game, which was originally made by a black man actually in the United States, trying to talk. He was I think like a software programmer. He was big in computers like in the 80s, 90s, and was kind of trying to predict like where some of this would go on unfettered capitalism with technology and things like that. And that's kind of where a lot of this came from. But it's also where a lot of the kind of the style over substance ideas came from too. So it's interesting.
I usually watch anime in Japanese, but I did try Cyberpunk in English. But if I remember correctly, because it's been a while, I really, really much prefer the Japanese version. There was just something about the English one that just didn't fit right for some reason, like the way they like stress certain things, like certain like it just didn't really fit for me. I'm not sure why. I don't blame like the voice actors or whatever. I think it's more of a direction thing, maybe.
It could be. I think for me, like from what I heard, like how they emoted and with how people spoke in the game, it sounded like they did pretty well. But I mean, I don't know. All preference of taste, I think. I'm not as super well versed in Japanese dubs. I'm an American dub, so I couldn't really say. But could be.
Jada Toys, the one that's been making such amazing Street Fighter fucking toys, there are
still waiting for a Sagat.
It's in the latest wave. Go and find it. It's in wave 4 with Blanca and Vega. They are making the main character and the girlfriend. The one, the guy with the yellow jacket.
So what's his name? David. It's a really like
Jonathan.
Like basic. It's I think it's like Dave or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then yeah.
And
Sorry, names are.
So for now, it's just these two characters, and they say more will come if these two do well. So I'm really hoping everybody buys those two, because what I really want is Jessica. Is her name Jessica? Rebecca? The short one.
Yeah, that's Are you sure it's not like? I'm looking up the characters now. Oh, Rebecca, I think is who you're thinking of. The short one.
The short one with the like. Oh, yeah. I love her design so much. I just want her.
Oh, I know, she's great. We were justice for Beck, by the way.
Yeah.
Can I just say?
I really hated that they had to kill everybody off. So annoying.
I know. I know when we were so. I know. Sorry, we were rooting for her so hard, and we were so sad. Yeah. David is the main character.
I would say. That one.
Same. Why can't I find Lucy? Lucy is the name of the girl.
The girl, yeah. Okay.
So David and Lucy. I think that's right.
So yeah.
A Lucy
Please
statue would be super
everyone go and buy
cool.
David and Lucy so that I can get my Rebecca.
Yeah, exactly. A Lucy statue would look pretty awesome though. The way like her hair is and everything.
Actually, seriously, Jada Toys is making some crazy ass action figures. They're known for die-cast vehicles. And they started making action figures. This is not really their first one. They started making the Universal Monsters one. That one also get really good reviews, but this Street Fighter ones makes no sense because they give you good amount of accessories, crazy articulation, good sculpt, good paint, and everything at like $20-something. They're basically giving you $50 premium action figures for $20. It makes no sense. So, yeah. Oh, they also have a Mega Man. Like they have a Mega Man line with all the not just Mega Man, but all the funny bosses with all the. Oh my god, Jada's really killing it. I'm really hoping to get quite a bit of success and they can get more IPs from like maybe Capcom. I just want Resident Evil and all that, please. Yeah, that's about.
That'd be cool.
Oh, I've been playing and I'm very, very close to finishing Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, which is the guy who made Suikoden. This is like the spiritual successor to Suikoden, the JRPG. I'm not sure if this is a valid thing to be annoyed about, but I was part of the Kickstarter. So I got my copy. And Eiyuden eventually became like you can get it in retail, which is whatever. That's fine. I'm not saying like I don't want people to get physical copies, but I just wished that my Kickstarter physical copy came with like a small little tag, Kickstarter backer, or like a note, thank you for backing the Kickstarter, something like that. Just a small little thing to acknowledge that I am a Kickstarter backer. I don't know why I'm annoyed that didn't happen. I just basically what I got was just a normal retail copy. I'm not sure if that's a valid criticism, but I'm a bit annoyed.
I think it's valid, but unfortunately, I'm not surprised.
Is it common? Because this is my first Kickstarter that I backed.
I mean, I haven't really backed a ton of Kickstarters lately, but like I have seen, there's been a lot of talk though about Kickstarters these days, and especially from like bigger companies. Sometimes they completely fall through and don't tell people, which is hilarious. Not hilarious for people, but just the whole thing is hubristic.
The whole thing is a joke, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like, I have been hearing from people that little touches like that are just missing from a lot of big budget Kickstarter things these days. So that's kind of what I mean. It's like I think that is like missing that little special touch.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm not surprised based on things I've heard.
Because it eventually became something you can get at retail. So I think that special touch would have been nice. Because if it didn't go to retail, then I don't think you needed it. Because everybody would be like, the physical version is the Kickstarter version because that's the only way you could have gotten it, right?
Yeah.
So I just wish that... Fucking hell.
It's just, the reason I find it kind of weird is I think about, this isn't the same thing, but it's not video game related, but if I'm going to buy little things, I buy small business. So like, for instance, I literally have some right here. There's these little lip glosses that I just buy from a small business owner because I like them, right? And all those packages include stickers and a thank you card and stuff like that. Like those little touches is kind of what I think is lacking. And I'm not surprised to hear that, especially from these big budget Kickstarters. I've been hearing that theming a lot. That's kind of what I mean.
I bought a couple of these headphones, like just earphones I bought, and in the package it's like, thank you for buying, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I'm gonna recommend your shop now to other people. So it's just right. It's just this little
There's something to be said about this vast between like a kind of like that small business versus these like AAA that it is your privilege to enjoy our stuff. I don't know. There's just something kind of missing there.
So the game. So I already talked about the physical package again. So the game itself is really good, but there's just so many little things that is so annoying. First off, the Switch one is kind of broken, so you really gotta wait for some patches. Like the game can break and can soft lock you out, those kind of things.
Oh, that's not okay.
Yep. And this is why I chose the PS5 version, because I was like, I really want the Switch version because, number one, as a game collection, cartridges just last longer, right? And it's nice to have something portable. But I was like, I know the Japanese Kickstarters have been really shit with the Switch versions, that I'm just gonna like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get a PS5 one. So that was a good choice on my end, I think. So that's that. But the game itself, it doesn't respect your time at all. So it's an old school JRPG, sure. But I feel like certain quality of life things should have been added because we're no longer in the 90s. So
Right.
So the first thing that really annoyed me was, I mean, I'm not even talking about the lack of no fast forward during battle. It would have been nice, but that's not the worst thing. The one of the worst things that I really hated is not being able to save anywhere. You can only save.
Stop.
You can only save at save points in dungeons. That one I get. Sure, dungeons.
In dungeons, okay. Yeah.
That one is fine.
Yeah.
You cannot save anywhere you want in the overworld map. And you cannot save anywhere you want in friendly towns.
Weren't there 90s games that were doing that?
You can only go there. So if you're in a town, you can only save at inns. So if I'm doing something here, I would need to go all the way to the inn to save my game. And I'm like, seriously?
Fun.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. We're not... I hate that. I hate that so much.
And
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so do y'all know the Suikoden concept?
No.
I don't,
Recognize
sorry.
the name. I don't know.
So this JRPG lets you recruit 108 characters. At the end of the game, if you recruited everybody, you get 108 people, including your main character or main characters, depending on the game. So it's based off I think it's a Chinese poem or a story called the 108 Stars of Destiny, something like that.
Okay.
So that was Suikoden. So in 100 heroes, you have 120 to recruit. I already got them all. But because there's so many, I mean, this was not unexpected. But it's just a lot of the characters it's like, oh, you have a war? I'm gonna join you. That's it. And then you recruit them. And I'm like, okay. It just makes no sense. It definitely, you can see which characters were rushed. You can definitely see that one. So they probably rushed certain things. Combat, I think, is pretty fun. I'm level 99 now, so I'm overpowered as fuck, so there's no more strategy required. But I like JRPGs like that. I just like my JRPGs that at the end of the game, just let me be overpowered. I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair.
But in Suikoden, because there's so many characters, you get to have 6 in your party, in your active party. And in this one, you also have 6. You have 3 on the front line, 3 on the back line, and you have 1 support character, and 3 backup characters that you have to bring for story purposes. But if you don't want to put them in the front or back lines, you can put them in the backup slots, so you don't have to use them back.
Oh, interesting. So you could still be able to do stuff, but don't have to have them in your party.
Because during the story, they'll be like, oh, you need to bring this person. But if this person sucks in battle, put them in the reserves.
Okay.
So you get a good choice. But the one thing that I didn't like was there are 3 characters specifically that can do battle that takes up 2 slots instead of 1 character slot. So it's like, oh, taking up 2 slots must be powerful as hell. Nope.
Yeah.
They're just kind of okay. They're not powerful. Makes no sense.
What?
Makes no
Why
sense.
do they need 2 slots? Are they just extra large? What's happening?
Yeah, so one is like a griffin, one is a dragon, and this one's really cute. This one is like a little girl on the back of a big furry monster.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
you can have 2 slots.
But the thing is, if you are taking up 2 slots, you better be as good as 2 characters.
Yeah.
But you're not. So the balancing
lame.
is really weird. Like some characters, the stats is higher than the main character. So OP. There's two, one sorcerer, one old lady, kung fu master. They're so fucking powerful. And then the one that takes up 2 slots is really weak. It makes no sense. It's just, I don't know. And then one thing I like from Suikoden 3 is I believe you can do this with 2 characters. if you have one character with their mount, if you put them in the same column, so like front and back, the guy will mount the mount. So that's cool. Mm-hmm. So the dragon and the griffin are technically, if you want, mounts for 2 of the 3 main characters. But if you put them, they don't do that. But I just want that small little thing. That's all. I just feel like the game is really good, but there's just all these small little things that could have been better. And like the mini games too, it felt rushed. There's a cooking mini game that if you want to recruit all 120 characters, there's a cooking mini game that really sucked. Very boring. Just do not respect the health of your controller at all because you have to tap X a lot. It's just fucking hell. These controls are not cheap.
Did you play the most recent Pokemon game on the Switch?
Violet and Scarlet? Is that the one?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
I heard it's so bad.
It had a cooking mini game I did not want to mess with at all. Like making sandwiches and like putting pickles on it. Are you talking about
Violet Scarlet or Arceus?
I am. Okay. Violet Scarlet.
Okay. I heard the good one is Arceus. Arceus?
It's a good game. I mean, Violet and Scarlet are good.
Right.
The cooking was stupid.
So this one, the cooking, like, there's 4 judges randomly chosen from your like pool of characters that you recruited so far, and you get to choose like appetizer, main course, and dessert. Very standard shit. And at one point before the patches, it did not matter at all what you chose. There's a fixed one that everybody said, just choose these 3 and you win each and every time.
Oh no.
And then they patched it, and I'm like, shit, I haven't finished the fucking cooking minigame. I just want to get through this really quickly because it's so bad. It sucks so bad. So there's like a racing one where it's like small little egg bird things. It's fucking cute. So, but even that one, like, that one's fun, but the rewards are kind of shit, I feel like. And you have to spend a lot of time to be really good at like the late races, the late stage races.
Mm-hmm.
But at least there's one like side mini thing that they did really like amazing. I'm guessing all the resources went into this one. It is the you can have a theater, and yeah, it's just weird. You can have a theater and you can play and you can put on plays. You can put on Romeo and Juliet, Cinderella, and a couple other like very classic stuff. And you get to choose out of your pool of recruited characters, any of them to play any of the characters, and it's fully voice acted. Every single thing. So imagine 120 for each play, and each play has at least 4 characters. And they don't all say the same thing. Some of them like to play around with the script. So it's crazy. The amount that one's the best one. That was the best one. That one, yes. That one, yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. That's nuts.
that everybody who loves like the Suikoden and the Eiyuden, like everybody said like the theater shit is crazy. Like it's almost too much.
That's where they put all their energy in.
Yeah. But even that one, so you have a castle town thing that you can upgrade, and the upgrades are all pretty much okay. But the theater is also part of the upgrade. So if you want to get your castle to be like maxed out to get the achievement or whatever, and also even if there's no achievement, you would want to max out the castle because it's just part of, it's just a video game thing. You want to try to get everything. The one that you can 100%, you're going to 100%, right? It's a very common feeling when you play a game. So the theater is also part of the castle upgrades. At the end, I've upgraded everything except for like the last 2 theater upgrades because the scripts are rare items that you can only get randomly at certain stores. So they really do not respect your time. Like, fuck you. If you have a kid, if you have work, fuck you. Basically. I don't understand why. It did not add anything to the gameplay. It did not add anything to experience. It made it worse. Why?
Game makers need to kind of... I hate to say this, but like... All right, the people who enjoyed old-timey JRPG stuff are older now. And the younger generation's not necessarily into it either.
Yeah.
So, you kind of need to get with the times a little bit. I'm sorry. The only people I know personally who like still like those kind of old fashioned, and I can think of maybe one or two people in my life these days, are people I know, and no offense to them, but they don't have a lot of responsibilities in life right now.
Right. I thought you wanted to say like they're quirky or something.
No,
but that one also makes
just
sense.
no, just they don't. I think it has changed, but like even a couple of years ago, I just know these people that just due to things that it's not my business, they just don't have a ton of adult responsibilities they need to worry about right now. And it's like,
That's
most
fucking
of us don't have
nice.
time for this. Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, I know. Anyway. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. Get with the times. Let me skip the cutscene. Sorry, that's an old pet peeve of mine with modern video games.
Overall, really good game. Honestly.
Yeah.
If you're a Suikoden
I'm glad.
fan, fucking get it. Like just play it. It's so good. But be aware that fuck you in your time, basically.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really good. I do wish that because Suikoden tend to be very like it's based on like war, there's always like somebody's invading somebody else. And you're the good guy trying to beat the bad guy. This one is very a very cheery war. It feels like the tone is like people are losing their homes and shit, but it was like yeah. It's just very weird tone. Like just did not fit. Yeah, it's just but that's just whatever I guess. Very sad that the creator passed away before the game released. That's just couldn't see like all the because it's getting pretty good reviews from the fans that's waited so long. Like I think I backed this Kickstarter 3 years ago.
Oof,
yeah,
rough.
But yeah, overall, Eiyuden 2, please, basically, and please fix all the shit I said. For the love of God, just let me save anywhere in the overworld. Seriously, fucking hell, makes no sense. Overworld saving has been a thing for so long.
I know.
It's not
That's why I
even
made
like
that joke of like
if you want to say let's do it old school, yeah, that is old school. Saving in the overworld
is old
is old school. Like, come on, man. Yeah, it's a really good game. If you're into JRPGs, Suikoden specifically, go play it. If you're not, you probably won't like it. This is not one of those get you into JRPG type games. Definitely not.
Yeah. Already need to be into it.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep. But it's so good. Even the music is made by I believe was it a previous Suikoden person or something? Like everything is just like proper, like this proper old school JRPG, the shit that we've been missing for years, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. I would say that is the one I spend the most time on. I have 100 hours on that. A lot of that is just choosing people to play the theater plays. It's just really funny. And X-Men 97 is finished.
Yeah, I still haven't finished it. I haven't finished watching it, unfortunately. So
really
I know.
Please watch the post credit of the last episode.
Okay, post credits. Got it.
I don't remember if I did. I'll have to check.
So yeah, I'm not sure when the new one is coming out, but I believe it's already. They're just in the editing phase now. I'm not super sure, but also I'm not sure if the guy who got canned, Bo DeMaio, the guy who the showrunner that made the first season. I'm not sure if his stuff is also in the second season or not. I believe so, but I'm not sure moving forward how they're gonna do it because I'm not sure why he got canned. He probably essayed somebody or something.
Sure.
I'm guessing nobody's saying anything. I'm not sure. Apparently, it's like difficult to work with. I don't know. When I see showbiz, somebody getting fired, the first thing I think of is essay.
Can I just make a slight? This is an actual joke. Please don't worry. There was a mangaka that came out. It might have been either. What was it for? There's a famous mangaka currently. It might have been for the Apostolos, whatever it's called. Anyway, point is that the news came out when mangaka is currently under investigation. Everyone, what? For tax evasion. Oh, thank God.
Oh, okay.
The Apothecary, I think it's called. It's it's become an anime now. It's about this woman that works in like in Meng, like with the Emperor as a poison tester kind of a person. Anyway, apparently it was a good anime, and people were freaking out because the mangaka was under investigation. But it was for tax evasion, so it's fine.
Lead with that.
I know. It was so funny. So funny. Anyway. But yes, X-Men 97.
X-Men 97.
I gotta finish it.
Probably
I will.
One of the happiest I've been watching something from Marvel.
Yeah. That's fair.
Including all the movies I actually liked. Including all of that. X-Men 97 is probably the best thing that Marvel has put out.
Fair enough.
In this new state of
wave of things.
It's so good. I feel like it's so good for both the old fans and the new fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so fucking perfect. The lips, though, I still can't. The lips.
You don't like Magneto's pouty lips?
Nope. He's just like like that the whole fucking time, and he's like, mutants are getting murdered. Like,
just doing there used to be a trend with my generation of basic white girls back when we were teenagers called duck lips, where you would go in the camera go.
Yeah.
That's all I could think of.
What's up with that? Like, that's a choice, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I was one of the girls that made fun of it, so I couldn't tell you. It was just one of those like selfie things.
I mean, that's like, they really made the choice to like really show off the lips in 97. It's just a very interesting choice.
Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah.
It's like Steven Universe. They're all drawn with real big lips.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Yeah. Stylistic choice.
It's just so good. So amazing. But
maybe it's their way of trying to not seem like anime-esque. I know some like American animated shows try to get away from that, and that would be one way to try to differentiate.
That makes sense.
I could be wrong, but
yeah, I think it makes sense. The post-credit scene definitely is making me excited for season 2.
Awesome.
And we're actually getting some really decent toys out of it too.
Ooh.
And the bar is getting.
I'm really bummed the Nightcrawler one doesn't come with swords.
That one's stupid.
Aww.
That one's really.
I bought it.
I bought it too because I don't have a Nightcrawler.
I mean, obviously, I still bought it, but mad about it.
We're gonna complain, of course.
They made an action figure out of what's the Executioner, whatever he's called, and I thought he'd be a much more prominent character than he ended up being. That show moves so fast.
Yep,
it does. It's so dizzying.
I wish. Maybe that's why I think Go-Go Loser Ranger has pacing problems, because I was watching at the same time roughly, and it's just not that fast.
That's fair.
Any of you, I assume not, did any of you watch Acolyte yet? First 2 episodes came out?
Not yet. I will soon, but not yet. I'm excited for it, though. I'm really excited for it.
I did not know Carrie-Anne Moss was in it, and I was very excited.
Wait, what is that?
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that.
New Star Wars show.
New Star Wars show. Everyone's mad about it because it's mostly it's a lot of people of color and not a lot of white guys.
Okay, hold up. So who
actually just not?
Who's the main character? Like somebody from the canon, or like a new character, or what?
It's all new.
Oh, it's all new.
Because it's in the past.
I haven't seen a character. It's set, I think, roughly 100 years before the earliest movie.
Yes.
So it's kind of, it's not, I think it's, when does KOTOR take place? Like 1,000 years?
KOTOR's like
1,000 years, yeah.
Way in the past. It's not quite High Republic, but I think it's meant to show like the fall of the not the fall of the High Republic, but it's trying to show like kind of when the fall of the Jedi are going to start, where the cracks suddenly begin. Right. I think it's meant to be like when the Sith are coming, but they don't know about it yet.
There was a Selkath in the background, which was cool to see, because I don't think I've seen one outside of KOTOR before.
Oh, that is really cool.
I think I saw...
And the robots are all very blocky. They're very like retro robots in a way that I like.
I think I saw on Twitter that it was something like Star Wars Acolyte director showrunner. Is it a woman? It is, right?
It is.
She wanted to do the KOTOR ones or something.
Oh, that might have been her. I'm not sure, actually, unfortunately.
One of the main guys
but
does have a yellow lightsaber.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But of course, people are like, keep away from KOTOR. It's perfect already. Don't touch it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
I would like to see that. Like, TV series, not movies.
I just want to see a HK-47.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know. I'm pretty excited for Acolyte, especially because there's a lot of high ratings from it, and the white fanboys are super mad.
First 2 episodes are out.
Live action?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
And I will say it is better than Obi-Wan Kenobi so far.
Is it better?
Which is a low bar, but...
Well, I liked Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I get it.
Is it better than Ahsoka?
Mando or Boba Fett?
Everything's better than Boba Fett one. The Boba Fett one's fucking...
Yeah, I know.
Obi-Wan
Boba Fett's
was the worst to me.
Yeah.
I thought Boba Fett was really bad.
Yeah, it was really, really fun.
I thought Boba Fett was better than season 3 of Mando, actually. I mean, that's a hot take, maybe. I think it's pretty on par with Ahsoka. Maybe a little better. There's not enough content to really compare. It's in the same ballpark. There's stuff that doesn't make sense that I don't like, but most of it's good and I do like it.
I'm excited.
Wait. Because I haven't really watched Ahsoka yet. Should I watch it? Is it good? Should I watch it?
Yeah,
I think you'll like Ahsoka. I think I warned you that you should probably make sure you're familiar with Jedi Rebels storyline, because it pretty much is a sequel to that.
Jedi Rebels is the cartoon?
The cartoon, not the Civil War.
But
yeah,
I get why you would say that.
I mean, I would just make yourself familiar with it. Just so it kind of there's a lot of story details they're tying into it.
I tried to go through it, but there's just so many episodes, man. There's just so many.
Yeah, it's a tighter show than Civil. What's the other one?
Bad Batch?
The one with Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Oh, Rebels.
Oh.
No,
not
Clone
Rebels.
Wars.
Clone Wars, not Civil War. Sorry. I mean, that one is really freaking long. Clone Wars is one of those shows that if you really want to watch it, you put it on the background and do other shit, because there's way too many episodes. Until the final season. Then watch the final season, because it's really good. Rebels is a bit of a tighter show.
I've been wanting to watch
it. They're just different. Civil War. Sorry, I keep going Civil War. Clone Wars, it starts off kind of slow because it was very episodic and kiddie a little bit. But I will say, if you wanted to find more, it's an excellent way to like make the second and third movies not feel like they suck so much, because it provides a lot more interesting explanation for why Anakin's the way he is in the third movie.
Right.
In Clone Wars, but there's a lot of filler because it was a lot. And then they finally like wrapped it up with like a final season or 2 season. And those are really good if you're an Ahsoka fan. I don't think they're necessary to watch to see the Ahsoka TV show, but it will. She's really a badass in them. Rebels is a tighter narrative. It is a lot of episodes. It's not as many as Clone Wars, but it is a lot of episodes. It starts off, you're like, oh, it's a kid's show. It goes kind of in weird places at some point, but they're definitely going to be bringing a lot of those things together for whatever is going to be their tie-in movie that they do. What's the next? There's a prediction, if it hasn't already been announced, that they're going to be doing something that's based off one of the Thrall books.
Thrawn.
I can't think of what it's called, but that seems to be the direction they're going in. So
that would be interesting. The books are so different.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be a 1-to-1, but that seems to be where it's heading towards. Because
like a lot of the Thrawn stuff, like a lot of his conflicts not with, like all the characters in Ahsoka are brand new.
Yes. It's not or they're from Rebels. Yeah, he was really important.
They're newer. They didn't exist when the books were written.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of why, like I said, just kind of get a little familiar with Rebels, because he's really an important character in Rebels. And it's a direct tie-in to his motivations later. I don't think you have to watch the show, but I would maybe get a review of it. Just so you, like, the show directly starts with, hey, this character was missing at the end of Rebels, and I think we know where he is now. So
yeah,
we just lost camera.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder if it's too hot. Interesting.
So, I
think Ahsoka's worth watching. There's some very cool visuals in it.
they did a really good job. I also really liked it because it was really nice to have their kind of discussion of it's the first time we've ever really had a look at of someone trying to be a Jedi that actually sucks at it, and someone who should be a good master who also sucks at it. And they do a really good job of progressing the story.
I actually recently did watch like a new Star Wars thing, which is something like I haven't done in a while.
What was it?
I'm not sure if it's new though. It's like a mini series, 6 episodes. Each episode is like 11 minutes, and it's animated. It focuses on, at least the first 3 or 4 episodes, it focuses on the survivor from that sisterhood thing that got wiped out.
The Witches of Dathomir?
Maybe.
Or
That
the
became
Jedi?
the mayor of that town. That became the mayor of that town, and that character and that town showed up in the other shows or cartoons.
Okay.
In Star Wars?
In Star Wars, yeah. She became the mayor of the town. She wanted to help.
I haven't seen enough.
She wanted to like get the town, better, and then she basically became like a dictator in the town.
Okay.
I think she showed up in one of the Ahsoka ones or something. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's
But I
sounding
think it was
familiar.
it was like very quick and like very like nicely like nice and compact. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
not.
randomly
I
saw
actually
it on
don't
Disney
know.
Plus. I was like, fuck.
That's interesting. If you ever get the name of it, send it to me. That's interesting. That doesn't sound familiar, but they also made a lot of side content that I probably am not aware of. They at one point were doing like a whole I think character series about each Star Wars character. So
There was a minor. No, scandal's too big of a word.
Clothes.
But one of the actors from Acolyte is like, yeah, I'm a big Star Wars fan. I loved when Anakin blew up the Death Star. People are like, oh, this guy.
is that the guy though that? Yeah, there is a. I think that's the guy though that. I think English is not his first language, and he learned it to be in this movie.
Wow.
Okay, I found it.
That's
I
cool.
think that might be him. That's why I was just a little like, let's not be too mad at him.
So it's called Star Wars Tales of the Empire, 6-part animated anthology in the
Oh,
style
okay.
of Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. So 6 episodes, 3
Okay.
episodes to Morgan Elsbeth, a Night Sister.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Right. I said Witches of Dathomir. I meant Night
Yes.
Sister.
And,
You had it right,
and the other
Foe.
3,
Yes.
the later 3 episodes to former Jedi Barriss Offee.
Cool.
Yeah. So Morgan shows up in Ahsoka.
Right? Okay. So
Very
I'm not going
big
crazy here
character.
because I remember.
Nope, you're not.
Because when I was watching the short, I was like, "Isn't this the one from?"
But she was also in the second season of
Mando?
Mandalore.
Yeah, okay, that's the one I was thinking.
Yep,
of.
that person. Yeah, but she also is she's a main person in the Ahsoka show as well.
In the new
She's
Ahsoka
badass.
show, live action show.
Yes,
The live action
correct.
show.
She shows up in Rebels.
She's no, not that I know of.
Didn't watch enough.
If she did, I don't remember her.
Why did I know she was in Ahsoka? I haven't watched that one yet. Did she like reference
action figure,
Ahsoka
maybe?
in Mando? Maybe.
Oh, she's in it with me. So, do you remember when Ahsoka shows up in Mando?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
She fights someone. It's Morgan. She fights, and then Morgan
remember
basically
this.
is gonna get her revenge on her and Ahsoka. Kind of. It's more complicated than that.
I thought it was good, and it's like super quick watch. It's like 11 minutes ish.
Cool.
So you can watch the whole thing in an hour, basically.
That's great.
I don't really have any news stuff. There is something going on right now.
I had one last complaint about Acolyte. This is because it's a very dumb complaint. The mainest character, her name is OSHA, which if you're in America,
Right.
it's an acronym for Occupational Safety and Health Administration. And every time it's like, OSHA, it's too dangerous. I'm like, it's just too funny every time it comes up.
Might have been on purpose, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Just like running joke.
No news, but there is this thing that I've been like very like. So like video game discourse recently, the past few months, has been so boring. Like, it's been so formulaic and very, like, you can see the pattern. It's probably because the people leading the discourse have been, like, very specific, like a small number of grifters, I guess.
Could be that. If you're talking about video game news, there's a lot of influx of AI writers in a lot of those video game sites, so that can be part of it too.
And also, it's like, I don't know, it's just, I'm not saying the topic is not important to talk about. As in, of course, if this grifters is making stupid ass comments, you have to, ask them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because the comments is always about female characters or
people of color, yeah.
But it's so boring. Like, seriously. Like, find a new angle. Like, come on.
Right.
I know, the
what
grifters have
like,
just gotten. I mean, yeah, I think what I've seen is that there's recently been some games that have come out where the controversy from
Sweet Baby Inc.
the sad white gamer boys is just predictable and annoying. So, like the new Assassin's Creed game that stars a
Black Samurai
real
guy.
historical figure, Black Samurai, a real guy. He existed. We have records of him. And the people getting mad about that. I don't know the name of it, but there was a game that has come out. It looks beautiful. But it was made by, I don't remember what culture it was. Unfortunately, I feel like it was either South American or an African culture, which does not narrow it down. But anyway, a bunch of people got mad about that. And basically the only reason I know about it is a lot of people, have been like, hey, you kept saying, that, people should just make our own games. And now you're mad about that when it comes to like.
I know exactly which game you're talking about. I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
So, the game is called Tales of Kenzera ZAU.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it is made
beautiful.
by an African guy.
He's African, okay.
Based on the stories that his father told him, based on African lore. I'm not sure which part of Africa. Super huge.
Yeah.
I'm not African.
I
so
know.
I have no idea.
I know it's not specific, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
it's like a Metroidvania. Very like African lore, mythology, which is cool because we always get the usual Greek, Roman, whatever. Right?
Yeah. We don't, especially like, I mentioned like South American, but even South American, I feel like gets a little bit more attention than African, unfortunately.
So,
like in South America, Africa just has like a Nancy Boys, like that's it. Neil Gaiman's a Nancy Boys, but yeah.
So the guy is actually like an actor/voice actor. This is his first video game, I think first fully developed video game that he made. So I guess more or less this is his first game. But previously he's actually like still a working voice actor/actor. He's gonna show up in the latest seasons or something of House of Dragons. I'm not sure. I never watched GOT.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah.
I didn't know it was ongoing.
And
cool.
he is also famously known to be the voice of Bayek, I guess if I remember correctly, the main character from the Assassin's Creed Origins game.
Okay.
So
Very
the
cool.
funny thing is, Tales of Kenzera ZAU is a made by African game, based on African lore and myth, and people are pissed off at the diversity of it, and I'm like,
it's a DEI game.
what? I don't get that one. That one I really don't understand. And then people are like, no, it's not that we don't. It's not like we. I'm not gonna call them people anymore. And the fuckers were like saying, no, it's not that we hate diversity or black people or what. It's just we hate forced diversity. Dude, it's a game about African lore. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. What are you talking about?
Also, their definition of forced diversity is like all of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And
well, that's
also,
why anytime I hear forced diversity, like sometimes it's true, but often I just roll my eyes.
Sure.
What I will say is I think I found it surprising that he contracted or consulted with Sweet Baby Inc. for his game.
Yes.
I'm not sure if Sweet Baby Inc. have experts in African lore and mythology, but if I'm not mistaken, Sweet Baby Inc. might do also like not just that, like probably they help out with like writing and all that. Maybe they also do like other things because you have to survive, right? You can't just do the one thing, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's just that. Because I would expect the guy who is African to know more than Sweet Baby Inc. unless they have like, experts in like African lore or myth or whatever. But it's just whatever. It's like, but also if you want to make the forced diversity argument, why are you in the thread of this game which is meant for like makes no sense to your argument at all.
Because they just want to be in all the places, and they get mad if a place is not for them. The fuckers.
So... I was just looking at the threads, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
I know.
And one of the main grifters of this latest movement, do we want to call it like Gamergate 2.0?
I mean, it's getting to that point.
3.0? I'm not even sure, honestly.
Hopefully just 2, but I don't know, man. I can't keep track.
The former Blizzard guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. He's a fucker.
Yeah. He was saying, like, I support censorship if it's for, like, the diversity stuff. Like,
well, at least they're being honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hate it.
But it's so, I don't know, it's just so boring now. I feel like some of it is also my age talking, and it's making me feel fucking old. Because I've seen this shit so many times already. It's just a pattern now.
I think for me, I'm still at an age where I'm not quite to the point of just pure, like, this is cyclical. I'm just more at the point of, wow, we haven't gotten better. What the hell? That's more kind of, I think, where I'm at still. Maybe I'll get to your point at some in a few years.
Yeah. I'm turning 36 this year, so yeah. I guess I've seen like same things just repeated over and over and over again. It's just so boring now.
I'm still so young at 32 coming up. So young. I have announcements of some things that I'm excited about coming up.
Okay.
So new Dragon Age game now changed to the name.
Veil,
I know.
Right?
Now changed to Veilguard, which I don't know. Apparently, there's going to be.
Is that ever referenced in any of the other Dragon Age games? I don't remember.
The closest I can say is the Veil is often used to reference kind of it's more like the Fade, but like the not the Force, but like the barrier between the real world and the spiritual dream world kind of thing. Although they usually call that the Fade. So like I think that's sometimes called the Veil.
Do you think they went with Veilguard because V is also 5?
I don't know. Actually, well, that it would be 4, so that'd be weird.
It is.
This is the 4th game.
Yeah,
it's the 4th game.
I completely
so I don't know. Apparently, somebody got some details, and they said the name change was just because they felt like it better explained what the story was going to be about. I have to be careful because there's a lot of spoilers, and I haven't played 3 yet. But there's going to be more information on June 11th. Apparently, they're going to have a 15-minute gameplay trailer, which
15 minutes.
I'm so jaded because so many people do fake gameplay trailers these days that I'll believe it when I see it, but we'll see. And they're using a lot of good buzzwords. They're saying they're having, unique characters and developed storylines and different factions. We'll see. It's one of those things where it's been 10 years since the last game, and poor BioWare has just gone through so much shit, and like the lead writers that were on the original games had left, so I don't know. I'm just gonna wait and see. So that one's
really
like
hope they are going more for open area hubs with linear paths to connect them rather than open world, please.
We'll see. I really don't know, because the problem, honestly, with Dragon Age, they really just can't get their footing. Because the first game was a very old-fashioned, more like KOTOR style, but that came on the heels of Mass Effect, which was really popular. And so, like, there was a lot of people that really liked Dragon Age, but it was still kind of a niche crowd. And then 2 came trying to emulate Dragon Age, and it got popularity, but it also pissed off a lot of old fans. And then 3 was like a decent compromise for some people and too much of a compromise for others. So I don't know. Anybody you talk to who likes the series will tell you a different game is their favorite, quite literally. So we'll see kind of where it goes. So that's that one. New Vox Machina Season 3 was just announced to come out October 3rd, so I'm excited for that. And their next Critical Role's other campaign, which is called Mighty 9, is currently, I guess, being worked on too for a first season, so that's also really exciting. So, yay! And then Arcane, the League of Legends Season 2 was finally announced for November. Yeah. Now, I feel kind of bad for that one.
League of Legends thing I'm excited for, ever.
Yeah.
So good.
So, I know, same here. Here's the thing I feel bad about, though. It's very clear that my circle of the Twitterverse, and I'm not I'm not blaming them. I do understand where they're coming from, but this is a little bit tricky to navigate. So it's so Arcane brought a lot of non-League fans into the space, right? I was never going to be a League fan, and I love the show. And that's true for a lot of people. And also, Arcane Season 1 was not perfect, but it did introduce some elements of classism and even like cop violence and stuff like that. I will not say that it did a perfect job, but I think it tried in some ways and did pretty well. But unfortunately, there were some teaser images, and in the original League story, Vi does become an enforcer under Caitlyn. That has always been a thing. So there were teaser images of Vi in the enforcer uniform, and a lot of people got upset. I understand why. I don't know how they're going to do that part of the storyline. We'll see. I don't think it's going to probably be done in a way people would like it to be done, unfortunately. Propaganda being what it is.
Propaganda. That's the first time
yeah. I know. I've that's just been a word used, tossed around in my sector of things. Yeah. But, like, it's one of those things where I feel bad because a lot of people are like, what? Vi would never, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, that technically is when League of Legends, where the original story started, was Vi was an enforcer under Caitlyn. So I don't know what to tell you guys. So we'll see. I'm still excited for Season 2, though. I'm super, super stoked for it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, I forget the exact date, but it's November.
So this is super random, okay? But I'm not sure if y'all remember, like, I used to do, like, developer interviews. You were in a couple of them, I think. Remember those?
Of what?
Developer interviews. Like, indie devs.
Yeah.
You
we had Franbo, and who else? There's one other one.
Yeah, I did quite a few. I think you joined for, like, 2 or 3, maybe.
There was one, was it Adventure Craft? Did we do that guy?
Adventure Craft. What is that?
I was never in them, but I remember you doing them.
It was like an isometric sandbox survival kind of game.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So, one of the ones that I've done before.
It's too hot.
Oh, the camera's too hot?
Sorry, Mike. Yeah.
So one of the, I'm pretty sure, I'm like super sure that this is one of the developers that I interviewed previously, like long ass time ago. His game is called Airships Conquer the Skies.
I think I have that game.
It's either interview or he was a guest on one of the super early episodes.
Yeah, I don't remember talking to him.
And his game is right now 50% off. That Airships game that came out in 2018, apparently. And it's overwhelmingly positive.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just like, just randomly saw it like shared to my timeline, like on the Steam, like the recommended. And I was like, oh damn, I remember this game. And I was like, oh shit, that's pretty good. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a random thing I wanted to bring up. Yeah, that's honestly news-wise. That's not much. There's a summer game fest going on right now, so I guess that's showing off some trailers and all that.
Yes,
I think it's still going on, so there's not really much to talk about.
I'm just waiting till I hear highlights from my corner of people if there's anything of interest for me. So
they announced Civilization 7.
Really?
Yeah. Coming in 2025. There's a new Sony PS5 game, the Astro Bot one. I'm not sure if Sarah, do you know about Astro Playroom, which is like a free digital download where it takes advantage of all the features of the PS5 and it's just like a fun little mascot platformer.
Oh, okay. Never did it. Heard about it.
Whoever has the PlayStation 5 in the house, play it because it's actually quite fun. Because it also uses all the controllers, like all the features and stuff. They're making a full 3D platformer game out of it, and honestly, I'm quite excited because that playroom, just to show off that the demo, is really good, honestly. So that's cool. The thing. I'm really super excited for the Metaphor ReFantazio. They just showed off a new trailer. That's like the latest big RPG from Atlas. From the SMT Persona people.
Oh yeah. Will they make Persona 6? Nobody knows.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, there's no.
Well,
way
right now I think they're talking about like remaking Persona 4, which is not necessary.
I want it though. I know it's not necessary, but I will buy it day one.
All right.
I will buy it day one.
I'm still mad at them.
like the Persona 3 when when I played Persona 3 Reload, the remake.
Yeah.
It just felt like I'm playing a full-blown Persona game again. It didn't feel like, oh, I'm just playing something that I played before but shinier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just felt like a new experience. So I'm okay if they want to take my money with Persona 4. Just for the love of God, don't have DLC for it.
No promises. Although Persona 4, they had Golden,
They
had Golden, but I can't imagine that wouldn't be in the first iteration of it.
I mean, Persona
anyway,
3 Reload,
so.
they put the freaking the Aegis dungeon as a DLC.
Yeah, I know, but that was like a
DLC. Holy shit!
I know, because it used to be a separate game, but they won't do the female protagonist version. Anyway, I'm not upset about it at all.
Sure
We're not going to talk
they're
about
gonna
it.
make the female one. It's just
They
gonna
said
be
they're
a full
not.
60... Oh, seriously? Oh, that's...
Well, they already right now they said they weren't going to include it because it would take too many resources. Now, will they make a new ass game that's $60 and that I will buy? I don't know. They should. They would take my money today. Will they be smart enough to do that? I don't know because they're super dumb in this whole thing. So whatever. Anyway, I hope they get their act together. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, I think we can stop here.
Yeah,
Not
that's
much
fine.
new stuff, and I think Foe is like halfway out already.
Yeah. His computer is saying, enough!
Y'all can do the thing.
All right, this is Sarahscopic, SARAHSCOPIC. I'm on Threads. I'm still on Twitter till it dies. I am going to be running a very short D&D campaign through my wife's stream, Escalia, ESKALIA, that's coming up probably end of June, beginning of July. That's being played in her homebrew world that I'm excited about and also terrified because I'm used to being a dungeon master, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, check it out.
And I'm Foehamner. I'm on YouTube and Instagram.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
And I am... Wait, you're on Instagram now?
I mean, I have been. I just figured I should mention it.
Oh, okay. Pupunoob, Pew Pew, NOB, I guess the YouTube and Instagram, I guess. And Twitter. For whatever reason, I'm back on Twitter, but mostly reading.
I know, I've noticed that. It's so funny.
It's just weird. I feel like, and I've passed my, and the last time I was like really properly on Twitter was like so many years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
Honestly, Twitter is a good tool. Like seriously, it's just that fucker fucking it up. Like it's a good tool for like people to communicate, like when they're trying to organize riots and stuff, like in countries that need those. Like it's actually a really good tool for news and all that too, and customer support. But it's just annoying. This has been episode 215 of the playonultra podcast. Thank you very much for watching and listening. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.